Today we're speedrunning through Stcik War Legacy, a game where we murder a lot of other stickmen. Now we're going to start our speedrun as soon as we select our difficulty, and then we're also going to skip through the cutscenes, the tutorial, all that stuff since I already know how to play. And what we're going to do right away is take control of our first stickman, because in this game you can take control of one stickman at a time instead of just letting the AI do everything. And when you take control of one of them, they'll actually do double damage and they're going to go faster. But right away, this is just the first level, so we take care of one dude and now we're kind of just pummeling this statue, trying to get it down below half health, where the enemy is going to call in reinforcements. We can quickly kill that archer dude, and we go straight back to the statue. You will see that when they do call reinforcements for a small amount of time, it's going to make us do less damage to the statue. So yeah, we might as well kill the guy anyways before we finish out that level. Then we get to see all these unlockables and stuff like that. We don't really care about it. We're trying to speedrun, but we will go ahead and upgrade our clubman's helmet. Then after that, we make it onto the second level, and this one is pretty much an auto-scroller. So what we're going to do right at the beginning is just mine. Along with being stronger when we control one of the warriors, we're faster at mining if we control one of those guys. But after that, we're going to go ahead, start just beating up these dudes. And yeah, like I said, this is an auto-scroller. We have to wait for the sun to set before we can go on to the next level. And because of that, this level is always going to take 2 minutes and 28 seconds. This is a good chance though to practice my jump attacks. You'll see that if you move the joystick thing, I guess you can't really call it a joystick because it's on a phone, but whatever you want to call it, if you move it down and then to the right, and right after do an attack, then you'll get a jump attack which does a lot more damage. So yeah, we just warmed it up there, and now we're just gonna let our archers do whatever they want to do. And since there's not too much more to commentate, I'll let you know when we're almost done with this level. Alright, this is gonna be the last group of guys before the level ends, so I might as well say right now, if you do end up enjoying the video, consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, after we wait long enough, they're just going to start running away, and that's going to be that level done. What we're also going to want to do is upgrade the helmet one more time and save our other upgrade point because we're going to be using it later. Now we're on to level 3 and we actually get to play the game, but not before a tutorial that for some reason you can't skip. And this tutorial is really unfortunate because we're going to have to buy one of our archers, and they just aren't that useful. The game's trying to teach us how to use this guy, so it's going to tell us to select him, and then we can aim our bow, aim for that guy's head, which is going to do more damage. But yeah, there's not too much to say, especially because we're gonna have to wait no matter what because we want to get one of our warriors. So once we get 2 bags of gold right over there, we can make one of those guys, and once our boy comes out, we can actually start playing the game. Now this level is actually a little hard if you're trying to go fast because there's just so many things that can kill you, especially since we have these 3 guys that we're basically taking on by ourselves. What we're going to be doing is using as many jump attacks as we want to, and we got them down right there, so that's pretty good. Now we can start aiming for the statue, but there are also going to be their archers in the back, and we do not want these guys to hit us because they will do a ton of damage. And that's why I keep doing these evasive maneuvers, moving back and forth just to make sure I'm not standing in one place, because when I did stand in one place, you saw how much damage they were doing. Hopefully more of my guys are going to come. Finally, what took you so long, dude? But yeah, at this point, since we have 2 people here, we should be fine. We can start aiming just for the statue, and I'm not hitting the statue. Okay, that's some weird quirk that this game has. We're focusing on the statue. They're gonna be like, oh, they're calling reinforcements, even though they're not calling reinforcements. I don't really know why that happens. But we'll finish out the statue while my other dudes are literally like just beating up the workers for no reason. That's kind of rude, I'm not gonna lie, but I guess they have it done to them. Anyways, after this, we're going to upgrade our sword, get that up to its max level, and now we're really going to be able to do some damage. But not before we do some work. We're going to go ahead, control one of these dudes, because we have to wait anyways for our sword guys to come out. But as soon as that guy gets pretty far in the map, I'm going to deselect the worker and select him, and we can start doing some damage. And for this guy, what we want to do is a jump attack and just ignore him, because we want to go straight towards the statue so we can start doing damage to it. Then we're not even going to focus on this guy, because one of our dudes is going to come from the back, make sure that he focuses on him, and yeah, just distracts him so we can get into this phase. Now what we want to do is not really deal with these guys because they have way too much strength and it would just take too much time. So I'm gonna let all my other dudes deal with them while I just go straight for the statue. Yep, they're doing some really hardcore war while I'm just sitting here and stabbing a statue over and over again. You know, we're all putting in our fair share of work, even if they have a little bit more death. But that's going to be our next level, and we're also going to get our our next unit, even though we're not going to use them, because the sword guys are just so good in this game, especially since we have them upgraded the entire way, and they're really cheap. Now for this next level, we're going to actually wait. We're not going to go right away with just one dude, because we want to have at least 7 people. You'll see why in just a moment, but for now, we're just going to keep mining down this stuff. But with this next unit, that should be the 7 guys we need. I can now let those guys go as well, and it's going to be our relatively small army against this huge army. The thing is though, we have much better equipment, so we kind of just decimate all of these people, and it's not even really a competition. You almost feel bad for them, but there's the level, so I don't really have time to. Here's where we're going to upgrade our miner a little bit, and now we're on to the next level, which introduces the magikill. And the magikill is one of the most annoying units in this entire game. You'll see why in just a second, but that's not going to change our strategy too much from what we normally do. We're going to take one of our sword dudes and bring him all the way over to the statue. Now in this level, they actually don't have anyone out at the beginning, so it's just free reign for me to go to the statue. And they are going to bring out their archers. They're going to be able to do some damage, but we don't really worry about it. We're going straight for the statue until now they spawn the magikills, which you can see. They are so annoying. They use their explosion attacks. They do so much damage. And also there goes my dude. I was not paying enough attention. But yeah, these magikills, okay, come on, dude. They are very annoying. I'm going to try to get a jump attack, but it's just really wonky sometimes. There's going to be my first magikill. Now we only have to get the second one. My dudes are dying left and right, but we pretty much just have to focus them and hope we get as much damage as possible. But there's this miner dude. Are you kidding me, man? Sometimes other units can get in the way of the ones you actually want to kill. So that was really annoying, but now we can actually take him out. I can use one jump attack, and we should be good to finish off this statue. I will take out the people he spawns. By the way, the magikills can do that too. They spawn other units. Overall, they're just a really good unit. But now we have the statue. There's going to be another one. I'm just going to ignore him because the statue is almost dead at this point. And I mean, he's not going to be able to do that much damage. Okay, there we go. Finally, that's going to be that level done. Another run killer for me, so I'm happy we're done with it. And with that, we can now fully upgrade our miners, which is nice so we can get as many resources and as many units as fast as possible. Now for this one, we'll start out like normal, mining some stuff as we wait for our swordsmen. And we're going to control the guy as soon as he gets far enough so we can start doing some fighting. What I want to do for this level is take out the 2 guys in the front if I don't miss my jump attacks, but that's going to be pretty easy. Then like usual, we will just go straight onto the statue, but this time we have a little bit of a surprise waiting for us. Once we get to this point where there's the reinforcements, there is just a ton of dudes coming out. Now the thing is, a lot of these are workers, and we really don't want to hit them because overall it's just a waste of time when we could be attacking the people that are trying to damage us. But it looks like we're doing a pretty good job. Some of my guys are literally just beating up these poor defenseless workers for no reason. But we're just going to ignore the other people too, because we're focusing straight on at the statue. It doesn't matter if there's a couple lives lost on our side, because we're just trying to go fast. Okay, that was a pretty awful thing to say even for me. But now what we want to do with our upgrade is upgrade our crown, which is going to give us more money. And we're on to the next one, where again, straight away, we're going to do some mining and getting some soldiers. Then again, like usual, we'll switch over to our first dude, and we see another one of these gladiators, which we're going to use the same strategy as last time, where we kind of just ignored the gladiator and let our other sword guy go and attack him. Stop going for the workers. Why are you doing this, man? Okay, well, that happened. I'm gonna let them go back right now because I can pretty much just finish off the statue by myself, and eventually they're gonna call in their reinforcement. So now at this point, we have this entire army, and I'm pretty sure you know what we're gonna do yet again, because there's a bunch of gladiators that I do not feel like dealing with. Now what I do have to deal with though is these archers, because otherwise they're going to shoot me in the back, just do a bunch of damage, so we got to get rid of them. But other than that, we can head straight over to the statue. All of their enemy units are going to get stopped by my people, and I should be fine to finish this thing off, especially once we take them all out. And now all the boys coming together, destroying a statue, easy. So that's another victory, another upgrade to our statue size and the crown. And now we're in no man's land, where again, we have this basic strategy. A lot of these levels do start out the same, but they have a different strategy once we get later in, especially for this one, because here's where they're going to introduce giants. So again, it's going to be one of these scenarios where there are no people to attack us right at the beginning, and that's because they're going to be saving up for their giants, and we want to damage the statue as much as possible right away. because we want to call all 3 giants at the same time. If we weren't fast enough, only one of the giants would have showed up, which would have meant we had to deal with the other 2 later, and yeah, that just wouldn't be the best for speed. So we're going for the basic strategy of letting my other guys deal with the giants. Seems like too hard of a job for me. I'd rather just hit this statue. And it's especially nice because the giants are really expensive and they can't afford any more units, so we don't even have to worry about anyone attacking us, and we can finish off the statue. Now we're gonna upgrade our statue size another 2 times, and for this one we have a very interesting strategy. First of all, I mean, it's just like normal. We're just gonna mine some stuff while we wait for our swordsmen, but eventually we can start controlling this dude, and this is going to be the only person that we use for combat for most of the level. And that's because we don't really need to use anybody else. There's not going to be the statue in this level, and we can just take out these 3 people with a couple of hits before then it's going to get a giant. And this is the real reason why we don't want anyone else here, because it would just make this more hectic, and a lot of our units would die for pretty much no reason. The giants are very annoying because they can attack multiple people at the same time, so for just a single person here, we can keep going between his legs and pretty much just breaking his ankles. And all the while we're doing this fight, you'll also see that I'm getting more units, and we're just stocking up for the end of this level. But there we go, that's our first giant done, and now we get to relax. Eventually a second giant will come out along with 2 other guys. These guys are a little bit annoying, but we're basically just gonna go for the same strategy and hope that they die. If we get unlucky and they don't end up dying, then we would be the ones dying instead, so obviously we don't want that. But now we can focus on the giant, get him done, and bring over all the boys to finish out this level, which is gonna be perfect because at the end of the level, it's gonna be us against like 8 dudes, and yeah, it was really fast. Also, we're going to go ahead and upgrade our castle archers, which is going to end up being useful for the very last level. But now we're on to the second to last level. In this time, you'll actually see that I'm going to get more than 2 miners. In this one, we want a total of 4, and that's because we're going to want to buy a magikill. Yeah, for once in our life, we're going to buy something that isn't just a swordsman. But while we're waiting for the money to get all the troops we need, we're also just going to go ahead and pretty much just harass these guys. We want to take out a few of their units while we're waiting for our magikill, so it'll make the rest of the level a little bit more consistent. But yeah, I'll play it fairly safe. I might come back just to make sure I can heal up and get my boys to help me because, I mean, we're waiting anyways. But alright, it's finally magikill time, and this guy is really good for a lot of the stuff we're going to do, especially because he can attack an entire area of people instead of just one person at a time. So we're going to keep him with all of our other units and attack as a joint effort. After a little bit of running though, I will switch to one of my regular swordsmen, and we're going to be going straight over to the statue. They're going to get out their archers and stuff, but the damage has already been dealt. Now after we hit the statue enough, they're going to bring out their guys, which includes both a giant and a magikill. So yeah, this is pretty much why we wanted our own magikill, so it could help us counter theirs. This is probably the best I've ever done this level, so hopefully we can continue that to the last level. But yeah, we'll just take out the statue nice and easy. And now there is only one last level to complete the speedrun. Before then, we're going to upgrade our castle, and we might as well give our magikill an upgrade too. This time is pretty similar to the last level, but this time we're going to save up for 2 magikills instead of just 1. And go for the same swordsman strategy where we're kind of just having a fun time, because might as well. Alright, we finally have all of our troops together, and now it's time to do a full assault, because for this one, there's not just going to be 2 phases like there normally are, but we're going to have to do 3. Now the first one is going to be pretty simple, especially because we have so many units already. It's going to be the same old, taking care of all the guys and attacking the statue until it goes down enough so that the enemy will send out some reinforcements. And again, they're going to send out both a giant and a magikill, but pretty much all of the units are stronger than they were last level. The story of this game is basically all the people we've defeated before have now decided to start working together because we've become a menace. So yeah, there's just going to be so much stuff going on. There's going to be the giant who is really annoying, and this magikill who does not want to die no matter what. Just hit the magikill and stop getting exploded. At least we've taken down the giant, so I mean, that's pretty good. No longer do we have to deal with that guy. We can take out the magikill as well. Now at this point, we can start looking towards the statue. There are a couple of guys around, but I'm not too worried about them. But once we take enough health out of that statue, you're gonna see it starts crumbling, and it turns out that this was actually a giant, which you might be like, oh, okay, so that's probably gonna be the final boss, right? But no, it's actually another guy who takes out the other giant, and like, why'd you even bring out the first giant in the first place? But yeah, we now have to deal with a super giant, which we have a very specific strategy to do. What we're gonna do is bring back all of our units to the end, so now we can have the castle archers, and they're gonna be able to do extra damage while we deal with the giant. it's just going to be like a regular giant where we want to keep going in between his legs. If we did have a bunch of people, they would all just die anyways, so it makes sense to have a single person that we control keep going between his legs and getting some arrow shots in at the same time. Also, sometimes I do a jump and I really don't want to, but I mean, this fight has been going pretty well. He used a stomp, and his stomp attack, we really don't want to see. It does a ton of damage, and apparently he can just completely switch directions on you. I didn't even know that. But I also noticed that he's out of the arrows range, so we're going to try to get him back in there. Please do not jump attack, not the stomp. Okay, it's fine. What we're going to have to do here is take out our guys just so I can take control of a single person, and we should be fine. We just have a couple more things to do. I'll keep slicing the giant. I'm not too worried about our statue. I mean, he probably shouldn't destroy it. As long as we get a little bit more damage in, we should be about done. Kill him, archers. Thank you very much. And now we get one guy who says this.
I will end this for the Border Empire.
Yeah, I've literally never used you, but I guess take all the credit, man.
This ends now!
And there we go. That is going to be the super giant done, and we're going to end off time right now. But the actual time the speedrunning community uses is the one in the game, so our time is 24:39, which is going to be 5th place on speedrun.com, so I'll take it. All right, subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.